So like
We're
it's kind of dying again now.
I'm so
Why
sorry.
would you do that? Why would
It
you
was
do that? To me?
time.
I forgot it was time, and I'm talking about how I kill plants.
No, you specifically said it's something about dying. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I was gonna say the plant's dying again now, but then
Oh,
my
no.
plan is to just leave it alone.
Yeah. Poor plant. No,
Stop
mine doesn't.
trying to save it, and it'll do better on its own.
Yeah. Maybe mine is just an independent plant and I need to leave it alone as well. But it
Yeah.
doesn't like the sun and it doesn't like water, and I don't know what else to do for a plant.
Maybe it likes shade and mist.
I stuck it hanging in the shower with no windows.
Well, that's not shade. That's a complete lack of sunlight.
Yeah. Poor plant. Okay, so we're live. We've been live for almost a minute now.
I was waiting for someone to show up.
Yeah, that's fair. Are we here until Laura asks questions? Maybe Melissa? Who do we think's coming today?
Yeah, if they're here, then yeah.
Kathy,
I
Laura.
know.
Laura's here.
Laura! Cool,
Mm.
cool, cool.
I was just telling Lauren earlier this week, maybe Monday, about how it's Maycember. No, I was telling you yesterday. Like
Yeah.
it's December in a tank top where I have something to do for someone every day for the next 3 weeks. Is anyone else experiencing that, or is that like an isolated Hannah thing? Because I have varying responsibilities with end of the school year and beginning of summer and everything else, and it's killing me.
I don't have these things. We had like, so because my brother's in college, we had like stuff with his friends leaving, where we did like more dinners, and then he has friends coming into town, but I don't think it's the same because it's not like everyday stuff.
Yeah.
So,
No.
and he's the last of our school kids that make this important.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on an island all alone. It's fine.
Sorry.
Laura is also not experiencing Maycember. I was just convinced it was a really relatable thing and I should totally write an email about it. So thank you for buying in and convincing me it's not something everyone is going through.
The opposite of buying in. Well, Laura, do you have any questions we can answer this week? That would be fun. Or something you want to work on?
Mm.
You're our bestie. Let's do something. I was thinking like...
You do need to sign up for Feature Fest. I've been trying to avoid hustling you, but you do indeed. We're working on a course right now that will be live on Monday for all Feature Fest users. And as we go through it, I'm like, oh, Laura would like this information. There's like really valuable checklists where Lauren keeps debating how the tasks should be formatted.
True. True.
That I think would be super helpful for you. It's only me, but I will be there. Good. Yeah, a team of one is how everyone starts, though. But then you're going to have this course, and when it's time to scale, you can hand this stuff off. And like, we're thinking the checklist will be downloadable as resources, right? Isn't that our goal for formatting?
I'm not really sure what I'll do with the resources. I wanted the checklist to be shorter. So the checklist, like by default, a lot of them, we started with like 6, and I'm trying to get them all down to no more than 3. Most of them to 2, because I want it to be something like easy to move on. But I feel like the more I work on the course, like, Laura, you're going to hear us brainstorm stuff right now. The more I work on it, like, initially I'm thinking it's going to be a really good intro for people who aren't familiar. So like it'll have stuff that you can get deeper into, but I also want it to be helpful as something that, like, if you wanted your partner to understand what you do a little bit more, they would just be able to have like a similar vocabulary as you. So just like a good starting point to like introduce this concept to new people. I was thinking about, Hannah, in your town, we've worked with a lot of like students, and like trying to introduce concepts like this to them would be really difficult initially, but now there'd be like something, okay, start here, and then like now that we're on the same page, we can tell you more about how we specifically do this and that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I want the course element of it to be. And then Hannah's been lining up a bunch of speakers to come in and help out with topics for our lives, which is pretty fun.
So initially, Lauren had her whole agenda.
Yes,
And
I had agendas built.
yes. And then I was like, but what if it was purely marketing based? It wasn't, I don't want to hear Lauren talk. It was, how can we partner with smart people in the industry to I don't know, collaborate on this? And then, they started offering to speak. And the next thing you know, I started asking everyone to speak. And now here we are. And we're totally going to nail it on that speaking agenda real soon. We have a week and a half. It's fine.
I think it'll be really cool. Even if we can get some people in to do little interviews, I think we can tie that stuff in. But then I got to figure out, I think Wednesdays is where I want to deliver like new blocks, new templates, new features type things so that there's still that deliverable that's coming with it.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Should we ask Zafar to speak?
I don't know if he has, like if he would want to do that or not.
I love Zafar's videos.
I feel like he normally just uses like his cursor, so he doesn't have to speak.
Yeah, that's true.
Laura, Zafar is who works with us on our plugins.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely like a tech guru, and he works specifically on, well, he works on all of our plugins with us. But I think his expertise is really in like building blocks. So anytime we need to do a custom block, he comes in and helps us with that.
Also, he's capable of communicating with both me and Lauren.
He
And has been doing so for years. Therefore, I think he could be a really fun speaker.
Okay. Well, since it's just Laura, do you have any questions, Laura? And I can't remember if I think it was for Maycember earlier.
Oh, yeah, that was Maycember.
So before I
yeah, what are you going to come up with to talk about?
Well, I was going to show this course and be like, hey, Laura, you got any feedback?
Oh, how did you two meet? Us? Lauren and I? Is that the question?
Probably.
Lauren, how did we meet? At a bar in college. Should I add more?
Was it a bar? I think it was dinner. I think there was a restaurant.
There was probably food before. It was her cousin's birthday.
Yeah.
And then what, 8 years later, however many years later, you put up a job posting and I applied?
Yeah, it was a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hannah and I had met, we got off really well initially, but we didn't ever really hang out past that. We were just Facebook friends at that point.
Yeah.
Years later, I saw you at my cousin's wedding.
Yeah.
That was the first time we had spoken in years. And then shortly after that, I put up a job post. I feel like it wasn't that long after her wedding, a few months.
Sounds right. That's funny how it all works out.
Yeah.
I forgot about the wedding in between.
Yeah. I remember because I was Hannah was there and I was there with my dad because my cousin, my family, a lot of my family was there, right? And I was just like, Hannah, this is my dad. Dad, this is Hannah. And I felt so awkward.
I don't super remember that. I do remember, I think I left early and went and ate somewhere else because I was hungry. And I still feel bad about that for your cousin, but I was hangry that night.
No, I do remember you did leave early.
That's a total
because you were like, this is the first time I've had a babysitter in 6 months.
Yeah. I want to go pick exactly what I'm going to eat and do it in silence with no one touching me. Yep. Very typical move of mine.
Okay, Laura, can I share this course we're starting with you? It's a mess right now, but you're here and we have time, and I totally want to show it to you and get your feedback on it.
Yeah.
Because other than that, I just have to go work on it. That sounds much more boring.
Oh, poor Lauren, I ghosted her earlier too. She was working on it. And I was like, I'll be back in 16 minutes. 2 hours later. Okay, I don't have any questions today. I want to work on changing my colors. I'm just a little nervous that I will mess it up.
Ooh, what if we did that?
Let's just go change your colors. Yeah. Of course, I would love to hear about it.
All right, which one do you want to do, Hannah?
I want to change Laura's colors first.
Me too.
Don't you have a
Okay,
palette?
okay. We're just gonna, I'm gonna share my screen and we're just gonna play with it.
I'm gonna see if I can find an email from Laura where I think she's like shared the color scheme she wants.
I do remember that.
What is
Window.
it?
And then Laura's hosted with Charles WP Opt. Is that correct?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't remember people's hosts like you do. Stalker.
I am a little bit of a stalker.
In the best kind of way. Oh, here we are. Boom. Open image. And I'm gonna, send it to you in Slack?
Sure, that'll be fine.
What about text? Not as fun.
Laura, you're with Big Scoots. Okay, Laura, next assignment for you
Oh,
so that we can play with things. Inside of this WPO dashboard, so this is where like a lot of your stuff is at wpo.bigscoots.com, right? If you'll go in there and add hello at once coupled as a user, then I can do this on a staging site where we can like actually make changes. I'm
without
assuming,
messing
yeah,
up the site.
I don't have that. Okay, so yeah, if you will go in here and then like inside of your dashboard, I always use Becky as an example. I don't even remember how, but sometimes I do it. You can add people.
Yeah.
How do I add collaborators? Do you remember?
Do you want me to send you the article? How to add collaborators.
I love her because that's such a smart idea. Why didn't I think of that?
In the top right, in the invite collaborator pop-up, log into your portal, click collaborators on the left sidebar, click add in the top right.
Okay, so I just can't do it because I don't have any sites.
Ah, there we go.
Exit collaboration. Here on this first page, you can add collaborators.
Boom.
Okay, so if you add hello at oncecoupled.com through there, then I can actually like make a staging site because it's the click of a button. And then we could change out these colors and actually like look on the front end. But barring that, I'm going to play with it. And we're just going to see kind of what we can do. Because even though I said I was going to, I haven't played with colors on these sites very much. Not with not Big Scoots, sorry, Baked and Branded specifically.
Yeah. Go look at Slack and show me how you turn that little palette into hex codes. Like, are you just gonna
Yeah, I'll show you.
Match that. Do some dev magic. But like show me while you do it.
Okay, imagecolorpicker.com. This is what I'm doing.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I can upload an image here. So pick color from image.
Nice.
Use your image. I think maybe the screen's not big enough because it doesn't always look like that. And then I'm just going to upload. Hold. Upload this. And then it automatically pulls in like main colors. Then weirdly, it has these other ones that it's making for this palette. But I can also just like click on the color I want.
Cool.
And it'll give me that exactly. Okay, cool. Laura's going to add us. Hooray.
You're just a wealth of knowledge. Look at all of these resourceful tutorials.
In the chat. I had to do this a time or two. Yeah, I'm going to need that color. Okay, so we're just going to play with this. Over here, over here. We want orange to be our primary color, and then I'm probably going to add something different for secondary, but we'll see. So this lighter orange, and then we're going to do this darker orange. Oops, I didn't copy it. I actually have to come copy this.
Nope, she says we're already in there for Big Scoots.
Really? I looked it up. I looked up Laura.
Join.
Let me refresh. Laura, join.
Hmm.
I don't see it. Did we get it and like not accept it on time?
Oh, that sounds like a thing I do.
She would just archive the email and I would never know it ever existed.
It's really sad who I am as a person.
Mm, could be. I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
Maybe can you re-invite me, Laura? Is there like a thing to resend invite or something?
Surely.
Yeah, because then I could actually like save these colors and we could play with it a little more. But for now, we'll keep doing this. That's so annoying when I forget to click copy. Alrighty. Hannah's doing that real loud clicking again.
You used to call it aggressive typing. So loud clicking is better.
I don't like that. Just once coupled or hello@oncecoupled.com. So it should be our like full email address.
Yeah. I love when I click things and I still don't get there. Whoa. Apparently, Netflix has been waiting a long time to reboot in my living room.
It's probably that slow TV you have.
It's so slow. I don't watch TV, though, so it doesn't bother me. The 8-year-old needs to learn patience.
Come over here. No.
You want me to click mute when I do it?
It's so loud. It cracks me up though.
I'm typing with confidence.
Okay. I want to explain what I'm doing, but I want to wait until we've got the Big Scoot stuff figured out so we're not like distracted by that. I think if we had an invite, we normally would have seen it in here as like a check for us to join. They say it's already been used. Okie dokie, I don't know.
Do hello to plugins. No, that's a different login.
No, it's a different login. Okay, let's not worry about it right now. The username. Oh, Laura, are you in WordPress? When you say WPO, are you in your WordPress dashboard?
Is it like 20 seconds or 2 minutes between our questions and answers usually?
Oh, it could depend if she's like behind a little bit because something got like paused or something as well.
Yeah. Some big scoots.
Okay, and then when you're in Big Scoots, are you definitely in this WPO.BigScoots? Because they have two dashboards. Big Scoots also has like your regular login. So you have like a billing portal, which is going to be different as well. Okay, she's definitely in there. Then I have no clue. We'll probably have to ask support to get us access.
You could always use
I don't know why that would be happening.
What I used to do back when the struggle was real, you could send your login using the secure link in my
That's true.
email, and I could troubleshoot from your profile to add us if you want.
That's true. Because we have had other client logins for that reason.
Yeah.
If you see like my saved logins, I've got other clients in here as well that are all like big scoots. And that's just because in the past, that's either how they shared it or we needed to give ourselves access.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think big scoots will either have to do that or you'll have to share the other login, which you can do. I'm just going to kind of talk through what I'm doing with colors until then, because I'm going to keep playing with these. So what I did was I used imagecolorpicker.com to pull out the 4 colors that are in the image that you sent to us. And then because I know the theme is going to be easiest to like just plug and play, if we have 2, like a dark and a light and a dark and a light color, what I'm going to do is come into coolors.co and play with the palette in here. With a free account, I think I can do up to 5 colors at a time. But basically, I put the hex codes, I copy pasted them in here, and then I clicked lock. There's like a lock on off. So now whenever I press my space bar, it'll change this last color. And I could pick something from here as like a secondary color. So I don't know what we're going to do with that yet, but this is kind of on my radar. And the other thing is, and you don't have to do this, but I'm pretty extra, so I will. The reason I want to choose a dark and a light and then a dark and a light for my colors is because then I don't have to replace any colors, and the black and white that pairs with them will like work automatically. So I'm going to make sure that my colors have appropriate contrast with either black or white. So my dark color should be able to contrast with white, and my light color should be able to contrast with black. Cool. So just starting with these lighter oranges, I expect them both to have appropriate contrast with black. And it says the light one does. What about the medium one? Also passes with flying colors. It doesn't really matter if you have background or foreground. The contrast is going to be the same ratio. So that's fine. And then with this darker orange, it says it contrasts with black, which means it's probably not going to pass with white. And I do want it to pass with white. So what I could do here is I can basically just make it a little bit darker until it passes, which is quite a bit darker. I can also like play in here. So you can try and pick something that maybe if you're just making it, you're just adding black, you don't like the color as much, and you want to like try and find something else. You can do that in here. Based on where this is already positioned, I think that's going to be hard to do with orange. I think my best bet would be to go with this color, which is like the lightest I can get to. And this is the new hex value. Let me put that. I'm just going to use it in this spot here. Okay, so I can see it's quite a bit different than what we have. So I'm going to play around with things because I know it's probably not the brand that you're really wanting. So let me just see how things look if I play with these. I'm also going to need a secondary color, but we'll get to that in a minute. So let me play with this for now. I no longer need that because I have my colors. I'm going to change this primary to that darker color. Okay, let me change these again. Just make those blue so I know what they are. Oh, that's a lot.
If I were Laura, I would be so stressed at you right now.
But I might save it or something.
Yes.
Yeah, but I won't. And also, even if you do, there's revision history. How nice is that?
So perfect. So nice.
Ooh, look, we got a screenshot from Laura. Oh, yeah. Okay. Because this is WordPress admin user.
Yeah.
So when you're inside of WPO, let me log in again. The first thing, like the very first screen you see is going to be this dashboard. And it, at least for me, it opens directly to collaborations. And that's where you want to add me, is here in this collaboration screen.
It should be on the thing to the left, right?
Yeah. Well, looking at her screenshot, it looks like she has dashboard here. And so I think she would also go to her dashboard.
Yeah.
And then hopefully she would see the same. Hopefully hers would also start with collaborations.
Yeah.
And then she could go to add. Should we see if any of our other logins work? No. I haven't worked on a lot of these sites, so like recently, so I don't necessarily want to try logging into them. At least I work on Becky's site, so I'm like,
do Flavor Bender. No, that was a collaboration, not a straight access, man.
That's okay. Here, we can do Kylie's. We work with Kylie a lot. Okay, so sorry. She has collaborators in the left-hand side as a separate menu item.
Since she actually has a site.
Yeah, since she actually has a site. So hers is in the left-hand side. There's collaborators, and then clicking this add button is where we would become a Big Scoots collaborator specifically.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I can go back to playing with colors.
So just to explain, you're talking through the why of colors for accessibility purposes. And that's why you're making it a darker orange and such.
Yes, just to go back to this, really, I mean, you could still use the other orange. So to show here, you could use this orange. You basically, if you wanted to put white on it, you would be acknowledging that it's not going to pass that like accessibility criteria where it has this minimum contrast ratio unless you were to change the text to black. So either A, you just choose to not meet the contrast ratio. I do it sometimes. It happens. I try not to because I'm like weird about, maybe weird is the wrong word, but I really like to try and adhere to accessibility standards when I can. And color. What?
Big rule follower.
I am. And I'm like a perfectionist. So once I decide I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And the other thing would be if you like wanted to use black on it on your site, anywhere you're using, and including in like all the patterns, anywhere you use this background, you would then need to change the text on top of it to be white, or sorry, to change it from white to black if you wanted to have the lighter color with black text on it. So that just gets like a little more tedious, and that's kind of what I'm trying to avoid here. But it could definitely happen, and it would be a bigger project that we could do on this staging site. So I am going to go into here. I'm going to exit Kylie's and go into here.
I just accepted Laura's collaboration.
Okay, beautiful. Laura. Alrighty.
Kim's Cravings color palette. Be right back. Gotta go stop.
Okay, so Laura, what I'm going to do is create a staging site for you. Inside of your WPO dashboard with Big Scoots, it's literally just like here in this domains. So this, I think, is on your dashboard. Change environment, you can change to staging. You don't have one yet, so all I have to do is click Create Staging. I'm going to leave the default settings, and it's going to double check, make sure that we can. Okay, it says we can't. It says we can't. It says that in order to create a staging site, we would need to increase your plan. So we'd have to pay more money. I'm not going to do that. It's not my money. But if you wanted to create a staging site, you could come in, click that button, and then tell them that it's okay to proceed to do that. It looks like you probably would need that soon anyway, but if you're not looking to pay that right now, then, you know, no thanks. I'm totally going to close that and step away from that button.
Also, keep your eyes peeled. Big Scoots is sharing a deal for Feature Fest users. You might be able to take advantage of one of the deals that they're sharing to get that upgrade.
Ooh, this is cute.
Right?
That's great things.
That yellow is really speaking to me. Is it like the creator theme yellow that you slowly moved us away from?
Wait, creator theme still has it?
Does it?
Right? Yeah.
But the welcome y'all over the gray, I was like, ooh, accessibility wise, would Lauren be, am I in trouble? Go down. Her talking to the dog. Down, down.
Down, down.
There.
Oh, like this? Yeah, this is like tan on mine, huh? And also, yeah, this is almost certainly not accessible right here.
Yeah.
But this is like one-off instances are probably where I'd be more likely to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like site-wide, I would try and have it meet the minimum accessibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cute
Okay,
site.
so Laura really likes single tone, I feel like. I want to just play with stuff. Can I just play with stuff for a little bit? I won't save anything.
There's a 2-minute lag time. If you want her to save, you have to type fast.
Yeah. Okay, so what we could do is you can use a darker color like this. And then if you really just want it to be like single colors, just replace both your primary and secondary with the same colors. That's going to make it like some of your blocks will be, they're supposed to be different, but they'll be the same because one will be named primary and the other will be named secondary and they'll have the same colors. But other than that, like that's probably the easiest way to get to like a single color scheme in here.
Are you reading what she's saying? Sure, you can save. Please save.
But I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. What if you don't like it? I guess it's okay because you can go to the revision history and you can just change it later.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I want to talk about that pink icon and how it is not pink because a color hasn't been changed. It is pink because, yeah, go do that.
Yeah, because the way duotone works is it's like hard coding the color and not the variable. So yeah, you would just change it to whatever you want. And like keeping those maybe like black would be safest. I mean, I know it's not as cute, but that would prevent you from having issues with like between themes or whatever. Okay, so everything, I'm going to do two things. One is I'm going to show you if you wanted to use the other orange, how you could change things out. We're just going to do an example here on your homepage, but that's probably one I wouldn't want to save because it would be more work. And then I'm going to just play with other colors that I think will be like just fun to see what they would look like. So first of all, if we wanted to do this orange color, but we wanted to meet the accessibility guidelines, we could come in here and just like on each of the blocks, change it to black. So make this text black. Black. So that's basically what it comes down to, is what I was trying to explain verbally earlier. Wherever you use that color. So let me see, like here, this text, we would change to black. Okay, I'm going to refresh this. We're not going to save anything. We'll come back. It'll be fine.
Cool.
We're going to play with some other things. Okay, back to the style palette, colors, edit palette, show details. This is how I like to look at it. Okay, she says she likes grays, yellow, orange. I feel like I'm just going to play around with colors in here. We're going to keep this accessible orange and then maybe this like really light one. Yeah, let's try that. Lock those. And then I can have how many other colors? Only 5. I want to find like a yellow that they recommend.
Yeah, I was like, why are you doing this? It appears they don't recommend yellow with that orange.
I know, right?
See what happens.
They're like, no, you should not do yellow. I'm worried it's going to show up and then I'm going to like click too fast. Yeah, it really likes blues and even greens.
Well, you have so much warmth, but there's got to be like a cool yellow in there.
Okay, we're just going to have to pick one and see what we want to do with it. But I can tell you right now, this would have to be like the alternate color, because if you were going to do a yellow, we would have to change to blacks on it. So I almost want that orange back. How do I get it back? Dang it. Dang it. But don't worry, guys. I have this nifty thing on my computer that records everything I copy, because I do this all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, now that it's a bright orange again, I don't like this yellow anymore.
I think the yellow needs to be like toned down.
Toned down? What does that mean to you?
I don't know. Go look at Kim again. What's
It's just
Ken's yellow?
kind of a greenish mustardy type thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just click a little and see if this orange likes any yellows. It doesn't.
Is that the brighter orange now?
Yeah.
Okay. Phew.
Ooh, that got real green. How you like that?
Nope.
I want you to pick a darker yellow for me.
It doesn't wanna.
It doesn't. There's like two things I can see doing with Laura's site, but I don't want to like commit to anything. I feel too much pressure.
I think you're gonna have to go with your gut because this thing is not our friend. Oh boy. Oh, you like the similar, like darker and lighter version of each color. You like how that looks to play with that?
I like that in this case because of the theme that creates the least amount of work for Laura.
Mm-hmm.
And then it makes it so like if we found something we liked, we could save it and we wouldn't have to update anything on her site in order to make contrast work. So
Okay.
that's kind of where I'm going with it. And I'm just like undecided.
Laura sounds very open. She says, "What do you want?" She just said, "I'm so open."
So the first thing I wanted to do was find the easiest solution. So like, could we find something that is bright and fun, that matches contrast? And then the other thing that I would be interested in doing is like changing the colors and changing the patterns. But that one I definitely wouldn't want to do on production, only on staging. Because I feel like you wouldn't be able to just change that and it works site-wide. You would have to go in and edit some of your blocks to use the improved colors now. So like, I'm just not loving that additional work as an option. Like I would if I could set aside, like 3 hours to just go update stuff. But for doing it and having something that I feel comfortable saving by the end of this, where I'm looking at the time and it's like
Ooh.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I want to change things. Okay, so I lied. I'm going to go back to a darker orange. We actually have it here still. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do a different shade of yellow is going to be so hard to do in an accessible way. That's why I keep saying I want to do other stuff. It's because I want to find an accessible yellow.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah, this is just not cute.
No.
Okay, what if I did like a really bright color for this one and this one? Like this is the bright orange and this is the bright yellow. And then we did like grays, almost like tinted in that color.
Okay.
What do we think that would look like? How do I go back? Okay, so this is what I want my light color to be. And then I'm going to make a really dark version that's almost gray. That. And then this is not my yellow exactly. Let's find a better version of this. We need it to be like real bright.
That is green.
This is green?
That is lime green.
Okay, hold.
I've been made fun of my whole life for yellow versus green though, so.
I feel like this is like yellow right here, right?
But when it's big, it's green.
Okay, what about this? Is this yellow now?
That was more yellow, yeah.
More yellow.
I am not a designer. Extreme color thoughts are overwhelming for me at times.
I have to see how we feel about these dark colors.
I'm intrigued. Like that orange one looks brown to me. I know
This one right here.
Great.
Yeah, it is sort of. So it is like, you can see it's a little bit here in the color. So this would be, if it was all the way over, it'd be gray. and we're putting like hints of orange in it. I mean, this one's literally even just called drab dark brown. So I just want to see, I don't know what this will look like. I'm very intrigued.
Today we talked colors. Oh, she loves where you're going.
Back over here. Copy.
Fast clicking. So aggressive. Look at her go.
Okay, let me see. Make this a little bigger. I mean, I feel like the only thing that I really am not loving is that because the theme relied so heavily on primary and secondary as like the main colors, we're just not getting enough of the orange and yellow. And then these browns look very brown. Like they're not next to the other colors enough.
I actually love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Even with these browns now?
I think I prefer it. I think that darker color at the top as opposed to like a bright color makes it look more modern.
Okay. I'm just going to change spacing on these.
Because the color changed. Now the spacing must change.
The spacing I wanted to change anyway. Probably.
That's so cute. She says, I like the brown. More modern. Huh. Look at that.
Okay, you guys the boss.
Are we?
Okay, so we have a few different colors, and I kind of want to modify them. Like this gray here, I like with the yellow, but it's next to this brown, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
So then I want to change it to be like a tinted yellow or something. Like, do I use the gray at all anywhere now?
I prefer the gray and yellow over the brown and orange. Why? Can the brown shift?
Yeah.
Can the brown become more gray?
Yeah.
Shift him left. Maybe left and up.
I want him to be like a little brighter than the other one.
Such strong feelings. Yeah.
So he's called Taupe now.
Yeah. See where he goes.
Colors, palette. This one.
Better.
And then what does he look like when he's beside other things? I do like it right here quite a bit. I don't mind this as much. Okay, I do like that better too. I like that brown. It's darker. I think if I were doing it, I would tone down those colors because they're real bright for me. But I don't know how.
Yeah.
Like
Color theory is hard.
I really like to mute my colors just a little. I'm so like, oh, this was that green. She kept telling me it was green.
Okay, that's it crosses a line.
This is the next one, yellow. It's such a big shift. I just shifted it. Go. Oh. You see it like keep jumping. I could not move my mouse that small of an amount.
Don't touch the yellow. I like the yellow.
Okay. I like this yellow more though. You know, like it looks like fall.
Yeah. It's summer.
Okay, cool. So are we leaving it like this then?
Laura says I like.
I think it's fun. We changed this base color earlier. Or where's this? This base alt.
She likes the yellow. Go get your yellow.
The new yellow.
So proud.
Yes.
It does look more like Kim's.
Yeah, and you could still modify these a little bit. You do have the color picker in here. So if it's just off a little, you could come in here and change it. I think I want to change this background color, like this color here, just be lighter.
Yeah. Change it within the color picker. Within
Okay.
WordPress.
So this one's really hard because we're working with like really in this little spot. So I'm literally just going to start and try and like move it up. It's weird to me that this keeps changing colors over here. Like, why is that happening?
Woof.
Okay, so it's got too much red there, so I want to move it. I don't want it to be white, but I want it to be like really, really light. I almost wonder if we should make it with some transparency. What about this? Do we like that? I kind of love that. Where else is it used? So it just ends up looking like a gray, which we do like the gray in our color palette. We already have it. But then if we use it on top of something, it takes on the color of whatever it's used on top of.
Okay, that's nice.
I kind of like it.
That's really nice.
I know. I'm like, should we use this more often? This looks good.
Yeah.
And then it looks good right here. Dang. Okay. Oh, but this is, why was that base all? What color is this? Why is it transparent? This button, some of these buttons might use the wrong color. Look at all these buttons, which might make having that transparency a bad idea because other posts would need to update. It wouldn't. We could update this. We could fix this. But I definitely don't like the transparency on these. I don't know why these all are set that way. It must be in the theme though. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look and make a change in the theme because I don't think that should be happening.
Interesting.
All right, new plan. Undo these things.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, go back into our styles. Go into blocks, button, make the text white. Look,
Nice.
I didn't have to do it everywhere. I could just do it in one place.
Magical.
Love that for myself.
You're a wizard.
Okay. Laura, do I save it? I'm so nervous.
I think you save it.
I think I save it. There's an easy way to revert.
Yep.
I don't need to actually edit the. Yes, I changed one of the icons. View site. Let's look at it. Whee!
Save. New site, who dis?
Oh, I didn't change this one. We're gonna go change this one in a second.
Oh my gosh.
What happened? Is this only when I'm logged in? Stop. We gotta fix this. What's going on there? That's not okay.
It always messes up the grids. It can't possibly be the theme. Fighting words, y'all.
Okay, let's do a couple things real quick because we're here. This one I want to center with everything else. I want this background to be a different color. So we are going to do that over here.
Ooh.
I want it to be like dark maybe. No? Okay, let's do that.
Cute.
Weird. I'm going to have to figure out why this isn't full width. This is a group. This is a grid. So weird. What's wrong? Oh, the grid says it's set to 5. Why is it set to 5? I think there's a plugin that does this. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up separately. Fix that. But there was another color thing I wanted to do, right?
I thought it was just that one icon. What are you doing?
I'm just checking everything else. I'm just checking.
Okay.
Okay, but why are these all messed up? Why? This looks cute. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at it. But I can't do it right now because all of my energy has been spent worrying about saving this on Laura's site and being way too nervous to do anything with her live site.
Yeah, I can't believe you just worked on a live site. How do you feel right now?
Oh, I feel like I need to decompress.
You did
But
a
I
great.
like where it ended up.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Good work, guys. We're so good. We
Lauren,
can do anything. All right, where is my thing? How do I stop screen sharing and come hang out with you guys? Hello.
you did great.
That was fun. That was fun. Yay, Laura! I'm glad we could do that, even though I was like so nervous about it. It was actually really fun to like click save and see it live.
Yeah.
And it was fun to play with and talk through.
Mm-hmm.
I really am a little bit exhausted now, though. That the stress levels got a little too high there.
It's just so scary.
Okay, wait, before we go, I have 8 minutes. I will not take all 8 minutes.
Oh boy.
Because
Oh,
Hannah's here.
with me what you wanted to earlier.
Exactly. I want to share it. Okay, let me close out these things before I lose everything. Okay, so we're working on this course. Don't ask me where it's at. I don't know how to browse this. Here. Okay, we're working on getting things into here. We're pulling them over from where we have everything drafted and putting it in here. And then basically there's going to be 6 modules, one that like lines up with each day. And they'll have 4 courses in them. And then I've been trying to figure out how to lay out this information. So we basically have like so remember each day is 1 module, and then there's approximately 4 lessons per. And those are laid out with like definitions. So I feel like this is going to be really important for like heavy beginners to get a vocabulary that actually like helps them communicate their questions or like just even understand what someone else is saying. And then we have like a kind of like that vocabulary used in context, with a little bit more information of like how that plays in. So obviously module 1 is I do want them all to be basic at this level because I want this resource to be more for like the VAs. So I'm saying level 1 is basic. They'll probably I'll try and keep them as basic as possible as that like first step piece. We'll do a short video that just basically restates the information here. Probably gives a little bit more context, but that's just because I don't know when to stop talking. And then the stuff that I really like are like tasks that would help someone get involved with whatever they're working on. So this one, which has been talking about like ads and like revenue, talks specifically about like, know who your ad company is and how to contact with them. And then like make sure you have access to read Google Analytics, because if you're a VA or if you're working on your own site, then that's where you're going to get a lot of your data. And then a starter exercise. Some of this starts asking some questions that I think would be for more advanced users, but it just gives you kind of like a starting, like, here's a really small step you could do to learn more about this. And then we haven't really fleshed this out at all yet, but any links that are relevant will be down here in resources and tools. And like some of them just say TBD. I think this one just says TBD. There will be resources and tools here.
It's a work in progress.
It is. A lot of this, like, we've already come up with what kind of content we want it to cover and like a structure for it, but trying to figure out if it's presented well is what I've been working on today, is getting it into the system in a way that kind of is actually, I want it to be very usable by both someone that you're hiring and bringing on and you plan on like outsourcing work to them, but then also someone that like is newer to blogging and is doing it all themselves and probably wants to just like make sure that they have these concepts down. Like when they look through this, there's probably stuff that they're going to be like, duh, ad networks. But then later on, like, I think
You're hiring someone.
this one says like everyone has a dedicated account rep. Like, not everyone, but in Mediavine and Raptive, at higher levels at the very least, you do. So that might be something new to them, is like, can I ask for an ad rep? Do I have one? Should I reach out and figure that out? Things like that. Okay, I took 2 minutes. I'm going to stop sharing now.
I think you should keep rambling because Kylie, who we totally just logged into the back end for our site, was like, wait, this exists? And I'm like, yes, go hop on our live stream and you can see the back end.
Oh,
Showing it?
here, I'll re-show it again. Wait, so what exists? Just this course in general?
Yeah. She was
Oh,
asking
yeah.
about the email earlier to the small plugins list.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, just having everything listed
Yes.
was life-changing. Like, I remember when I first started with Lauren and she explained all of the different things and all of the different places that you need to go. And it just felt like I always had 100 tabs open on any given day. And it was really scary. So
Yeah.
understanding of it is huge.
I keep trying to shorten it because I feel like people don't necessarily need more info. They need everything like consolidated. And so I'm trying not to over explain everything. But that's sort of hard when I know so much stuff and I'm like, oh, but I haven't even said this yet.
Yeah. Just thinking about like all of the interns that we've hired. So there was a local community college with an intern program. And it felt like every time I hired an intern to come help out, it was such a mess trying to explain this stuff. This resource would have been gold. Hopefully we can use it in the future too. Bullet points.
Mm-hmm.
I see
So
a second viewer. Kylie, is it you? Did you make it? I just made Lauren continue talking so that you could see.
Yeah, she did. I was like, I'm done. I'm going to stop. Yeah, so I did bullet points for definitions. I'm trying to keep what you need to know to 3 sentences really, which we'll do a video version for anyone that's like more auditory and so that I can ramble just a tiny bit. And then these tasks, when we initially did this, I had like 6 and I've been trying to like, how do I make this more approachable?
Yeah.
How do I make this like the most important things without getting too techy?
And
We'll
then
see.
I really think downloadable checklists in the resources tab will be helpful, but I don't know that we've like formatted anything like that yet.
I had one, it's not on this computer, so I can't share it. This is where I wanted to put like experts. So like obviously this would link to like relevant Mediavine and Raptive articles. But then if we talk about like, actually one of the people I asked Hannah to email is Lauren Fit Foodie. I was like, we did her site and I was like, can we get her to speak because she does membership? Yeah. But like if she had like even a blog post on how she does her membership, something like that would be helpful to have those links in here. That way it's like, if you want to learn more, here's more information, but not like overloading everything in this one piece. So I keep making it longer and shorter, guys. I keep being like, I could add so much more. And then like having to be like, but I need this to be for someone that like we want to bring in and they're brand new.
Yeah.
Trying.
I can see you've been renaming the lessons, simplifying the names of the lessons.
Kylie!
Hey, Kylie!
I really just raised the roof for you right now.
Well, I made you ramble like an extra 5 to 7 minutes in the hopes she would come.
But look, I kept the original names up here, Hannah.
Yeah.
So, for the record, I only shortened them here, so this would be easier to browse.
I think it's easier for, checking things out.
Yeah. So this first one is done, and then except for resources and tools. So anything external that we're going to link to, we actually need to go through this and decide what we want to keep. And then if we want to do, there's like a whole resource section. I don't know where.
It's in courses. Yeah.
Resources.
Sorry.
Okay, so in here, we can have actual like downloads that would be relevant for each one. So something printable that you could track metrics or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I already have to make videos for all of these, so I don't know. Yeah, downloadable resources might be a Hannah thing.
I feel strongly about it, so I'm okay with that. And I love that you've assigned the videos to yourself. I was thinking I would have to confidently read all of these scripts.
Are these a Hannah thing? No, I think I can do the videos. I think I got this.
Yep. We're going to work it out. By Monday, it's going to be live, Kylie.
This is the only other one I've done.
Screenshots
and
and explanations. She is my clean shot girly. Should we have Google Docs backing everything up?
True. So, okay, Callie, one, this is going to be like a lot of conceptual stuff. There's only 2 days that are like hands-on things. So a lot of this will be conceptual. So I feel like 3-minute videos that just like go over, essentially the videos are meant to go over this information here. So I was saying earlier that this is like to get a common vocabulary, and I am planning to do the videos of like, here's what the words mean, here's how they're used, like here's where they'll be relevant. And like each video will get a little deeper into the vocabulary, right? So my videos, I plan on just being kind of like informative. But if I need to do actual tutorials, Hannah saw me, I signed up for this like 3 weeks ago or more. Don't worry, there's a post-it. So
for that.
I plan on trying out 2 or 3 of these things to do Tango, guide, and this other thing. Because theoretically, any of these so these are 3 like automated tools, and they should allow me to record a video of me doing something and then automatically convert that into, oh yeah, see Kylie's, did I totally miss that earlier? Step C.
We have it as an extension in Chrome. I paid for a lifetime thing in AppSumo.
Why are you yelling at me? Why are you yelling at me again? Guys, I had to message Hannah on Marco Polo the other day and be like, I'm really going to need you to stop using caps lock. I'm doing the best I can.
Yes, you told me about Step C. I love Step C. I've been in trouble because Christopher liked using Fable and I liked using Step C, and now Laura needs to come to her own conclusions with new ones. But I have
because
for Step C.
So I did look, and I think I tried this one, and the reason that I didn't like it was because I can't record a video at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing is I wanted all of them to be able to export as a post, and some of them were only available as embeds. And so that was another thing, was like you were embedding these and it'll like take a thing of the video, but here I can literally see it says export to Google Docs, so surely it'll do what I want.
Yeah. With the
So
Google Docs,
maybe
copy and paste into posts.
Wait, where do you have this installed? Because I don't see it in our thing.
It's an extension in Chrome. And then it lives in AppSumo, and the hello at AppSumo is a lifetime. So you already own it.
It's an extension in Chrome. Not in our joint Chrome and not in my individual Chrome. Okay.
It's in AppSumo.
Yeah. I got totally sidetracked. Yes, there are lots of things like that. I want one that will let me do it once
Yeah.
and then export it everywhere. But my goal is to not need a lot of those for this particular course. I think there will be a second course or something like that where I actually go into technical how-tos, where once your VA like understands your site and what your goals are, here's how they can do something. But that stuff doesn't even just apply to your VA, so
Yeah. When we
gotta
started
look
this
at that.
course, we were questioning how many resources, how many courses, how many topics, and we've had to really pull back from the original excitement. Everything is on fire.
Must do it all. We're
Yes.
excited for everything.
Yeah.
Imagine that. We're over time because Lauren spoke and rambled.
And I'm so grateful for you. Thank you. You're the best. I never mean to yell at you.
I know. And like you weren't yelling at me. You were just like yelling and I was like, she's yelling at me. You're probably on your side of the screen like laughing your ass off. And I'm like, why is she so mad at me?
It's the worst. But
Okay. Thanks guys for hanging out. I'm gonna let you guys go. Live your lives.
while Hannah yells at her in the background about this course some more.
Probably.
Yeah.
Thank you for feedback, Laura, on the course.
Get your
and-
ticket to Feature Fest before prices go up. Just saying. Goes up by another $20 on Friday.
I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
We're doing this course to be able to do more live with like guests and stuff. So I think it'll be really fun
Yeah.
to go through that.
Cool. See you guys next week. And then the following Monday at Feature Fest.
Yay.
Woohoo!
All right, bye.
Bye.